Today we're going to talk about topic 4.4 of AP Psychology, which is social and cognitive factors in learning. But I'm going to interrupt that. What if I told you that the way you learn is influenced not just by your own efforts, but also by the people around you and the environment you're in? Intriguing, isn't it? Imagine a web with you at the center. Each strand represents different influences on your learning process. Some strands represent behavior modification techniques that can help you acquire new skills or replace unwanted behaviors. Others represent biofeedback methods, where you learn to control your bodily processes. And then there are strands for coping strategies and self-control, essential tools to navigate life's challenges. These influences are not isolated, but interconnected, shaping your learning journey in unique ways. As we journey through this topic, we'll delve into the research of renowned psychologists like Albert Bandura and explore theories like insight and latent learning. So, are you ready to delve deeper into the fascinating world of learning? If this sounds like what you like, you should subscribe to the channel and ask any questions you might have along the way in the comments. You don't have to be a part of the AP class to do that. Stick around as we unravel the mystery. Imagine you're trying to quit smoking. You decide to reward yourself with a treat every time you resist a craving. This, my friends, is a real-world example of behavior modification. Now let's break it down. What is behavior modification? It's a type of learning where an individual's behavior is changed, altered, or shaped by the consequences of that behavior. Essentially, it's learning from the outcomes of your actions. Think about it. When you were a child, your parents probably used a form of behavior modification. Remember when they promised you an extra hour of TV time if you finished your homework? That was them using positive reinforcement, a type of behavior modification to encourage you to complete your tasks. Fast forward to the present day. You might be using behavior modification techniques without even realizing it. For example, you may set a target to exercise for half an hour each day. If you achieve your target, you reward yourself with a piece of your favorite chocolate. This reward motivates you to keep up with your exercise routine. Now, how can this be used to address behavioral problems? Let's take the example of a teenager who's always late for school. This could be addressed by using a technique called token economy. Here, the teenager is given a token every time they arrive on time. These tokens can later be exchanged for a reward, like a movie ticket. Over time, this encourages the teenager to change their behavior and be punctual. Behavior modification isn't just about rewards, though. It can also involve removing a negative stimulus when a desired behavior is performed. This is called negative reinforcement. For instance, a teacher might excuse a well-behaved student from a disliked task, thereby encouraging good behavior. Whether it's through positive or negative reinforcement, behavior modification techniques can help us bring about changes in our actions and habits. They provide a practical approach to dealing with issues ranging from minor bad habits to more serious behavioral problems. So, behavior modification can be a powerful tool to change undesired behaviors. But what about the role of biofeedback? Have you ever used a heart rate monitor during a workout? If yes, then you've used biofeedback without even realizing it. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is biofeedback? Well, let's break it down. Imagine you're training for a marathon. You start running and your heart rate monitor shows that your heart rate is increasing. This information or feedback allows you to adjust your pace or take a breather to bring your heart rate down. That's biofeedback in a nutshell. It's a technique where you're trained to improve your health by controlling certain bodily processes that normally happen involuntarily, like heart rate, blood pressure, muscle tension, and skin temperature. But biofeedback isn't just for athletes. It plays a crucial role in learning and can be used to address behavioral problems as well. Let's say a student struggles with test anxiety. Using biofeedback, they can learn to control their body's stress response. Through the use of sensors that measure bodily responses like heart rate and skin conductivity, the student can receive real-time feedback about their stress levels. Over time, they can learn to lower these levels, reducing anxiety and improving test performance. Biofeedback has also been used to manage attention disorders. Children with ADHD, for instance, can learn to focus their attention and reduce impulsivity through neurofeedback, a type of biofeedback that uses brainwave readings. By visualizing their brain activity on a computer screen, These children can learn to control their brainwaves, improving their attention and reducing hyperactive behaviors. So whether it's controlling your heart rate during a run, reducing test anxiety, or managing ADHD symptoms, biofeedback provides a powerful tool for self-regulation. It allows us to tap into our body's natural feedback systems to improve our health and behavior. Biofeedback, therefore, can give us control over our bodies in ways we never thought possible. But what happens when we need to cope with stress or anxiety? That's where coping strategies and self-control come in, and we'll delve into those in the next scene. Stay tuned. We've all been there. A stressful situation arises, and we're scrambling to keep our cool. This is where coping strategies and self-control come into play. Imagine you're trying to solve a complex math problem. You've tried different approaches, but nothing seems to work. The clock is ticking, and you're starting to panic. What do? You take a deep breath, step back, and try to see the problem from a different perspective. This is a simple example of a coping strategy. Coping strategies are techniques that help us manage and navigate through stressful situations. They can be as simple as taking a deep breath, going for a walk, or even just taking a moment to laugh at a funny joke. But why are coping strategies so important in learning? They help us maintain our composure in the face of challenge or difficulty. When we're calm and composed, we're more likely to think clearly, make better decisions, and ultimately, learn more effectively. Now let's talk about self-control. Self-control is our ability to regulate our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in the face of temptations or difficulties. It's what keeps us from reaching for that chocolate bar when we're on a diet, or from scrolling through social media when we should be studying. In the context of learning, self-control can be a powerful tool. It helps us stay focused and disciplined, even when the material is challenging or when there are distractions around us. It's what enables us to push through the tough parts of learning, to persevere until we've mastered the material. So, let's imagine again that you're faced with that complex math problem, but this time, you're equipped with coping strategies and self-control. You stay calm, you stay focused, and eventually you solve the problem. That's the power of coping strategies and self-control in learning. Coping strategies and self-control can help us navigate through life's challenges. But how do other people influence our learning? Have you ever learned something just by watching someone else do it? That's social learning for you. In the realm of psychology, Albert Bandura is a name of note. He proposed the social learning theory, which posits that individuals learn not just through their own experiences, but also by observing the actions of others and the consequences of those actions. Think back to when you were a child. How many times did you mimic your parents, your siblings, or even your favorite television characters? That's Bandura's theory in action. Now let's delve into another aspect of learning. Insight learning. This type of learning happens when you suddenly understand something that you've been struggling with. It's like that aha moment when the light bulb in your brain flicks on. Have you ever been stuck on a complex problem, only to have the solution suddenly dawn on you during a walk or a shower? That's insight learning at work. There's another intriguing concept called latent learning. This is learning that occurs without an immediate change in behavior. It's like your brain is storing information for later use. An example is when you learn a new route while driving but don't use it until much later, when your usual route is blocked. That's latent learning in action. But what affects how we learn? There are several cognitive factors at play. For instance, attention, memory, and motivation all play crucial roles in learning. If you're not paying attention, or if you're not motivated to learn, chances are the learning process will be hampered. And let's not forget about cognitive abilities. Factors such as intelligence, creativity, and problem-solving skills can significantly impact how quickly and efficiently we learn. Therefore, understanding these factors can help us enhance our learning process. So, as we can see, our learning is influenced by a myriad of social and cognitive factors. But how can you apply this knowledge in your daily life? Now that we've explored the complex world of learning, it's time to put this knowledge to use. Consider the ways you can incorporate behavior modification into your daily routine. Perhaps you could reward yourself for completing tasks on time, or create a biofeedback mechanism to help manage stress. Think about how coping strategies and self-control play a role in your learning process. Maybe you could try meditation or mindfulness techniques to increase focus. Reflect on the teachings of Albert Bandura and how you can learn from observing others around you. Consider the cognitive factors that impact your learning. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Do you learn better in silence or with background noise? Let us know in the comments. You might find some people like you. Other people might think this all is a choice. Tell us if you don't believe there are any impacts on your learning. Either way, you should do what suits you best and try out what you can. Experiment with these strategies and take note of what works best for you. Remember, learning is a lifelong journey. So keep exploring, keep learning, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights into the world of psychology, both inside and outside the classroom.